Yes, of course you should be wearing a bicycle helmet, and I have a lot of good reasons, and none of them include a car, so stay tuned and find out more. First of all, one of the most important reasons is that your head controls your body, and without your brain, well, the rest of the body will not follow. So make sure that you protect your brain. And by the way, hello my fellow Gym of Life people, and to all you new ones, this is Not Just Workout, the channel where I, Martin, talk about everything Gym of Life related, something I've been practicing for 10 years and been helping people with for 5. And as you have guessed, we are talking bicycle helmets. And I'm doing that because some years back I was working as a nurse on a neurological ward where we took in head traumas, and I saw a lot of what happens when you do not wear a bicycle helmet and when you do wear a bicycle helmet. So let's start with one of the most common things to happen. And if we use you as an example, you are driving there and you have great control, you don't have a bicycle helmet on, so it's on a protected bicycle road. It is far from any roads, it's in the middle of the forest, it's on a paved road. It is great for driving. It is one of the most protective and secure places. You don't need to wear reflective vest, you don't need to wear all sorts of lights because it's the middle of the day. But there's leaves on the ground and it has rained earlier today, so it is slippery as, and you're driving there. It is great driving on there. Suddenly your back wheel starts to lose grip and you start to fall. And when you're falling, you're trying to, well, take off with your hands. Of course you're doing that, but that doesn't hold back from hitting your head on the pavement. And what is happening? If you're lucky, nothing, but you should still go into the hospital being checked. You are being told, well, it's a concussion. It is nothing. You will have to stay here for couple of hours. We just have to monitor you. How do you feel? Oh, you've been out vomiting. We will have to keep you here for 24 hours for observation. It might even develop to a, well, brain bleed. And that is where your brain begins to take a lot of damage. But even a concussion is a small brain damage. So of course you will be agitated for weeks after, and you will have a headache for weeks after. I know what I'm talking about. I have just gotten over a concussion. I still get angry from small things, so of course you want to protect your brain. I still have some headaches, but they are going, well, further and further away. Concussions are nothing to joke about. Concussions will damage you. Concussions will damage your interactions with other people. So when you're talking with other people, well, you will have a harder time understanding them, especially in the time right after. Concussions are no funny matter. So I want you to protect your brain, and that's why I drive a bike with fat tires, because fall, winter and spring, the roads in Denmark, they are, well, slippery to say the least. But let's dive a little more into what other injuries have I seen. One of the most common ones, and this is just as common as being hit by a car, is people sitting down their foot and they're stopping at the light signal, putting down their foot. They don't hit the right place with their foot, so they fall over. And when they fall over, it's still, you try to catch on, but you have a grip on your steering wheel, so you're trying to turn the entire wheel, which really exposes your head because you are not in there gripping off. The best way to fall is straight down when you're standing. If you try to walk and let yourself fall, what happens is that you will start to, well, put out your arms right away. And this is because, well, you don't want to get injured, and this is because your arms are the best thing to protect you. What happens when you fall on a bike is that your arms are holding a tight grip on the steering, so you will try to force this over. Well, it doesn't. A bike is very rigid. It will not move. Your arms will not move as fast as if you had them free. So make sure that you wear that helmet, because, well, it will protect you. And the most common injuries I saw was concussions on this kind of injuries. Hitting the edge of a curb is one of the most, well, dangerous thing you can do. But there are injuries that are much worse and where I saw a lot more damage, and I will get right to it. But first of all, let's just go over what is the main function of the brain. The brain is, well, the central control unit for your entire body. You might not be in control of how your heart pumps, but your brain are. All your automatic systems, that's the brain. It takes very much calculation just to move your legs. So you have a lot of power in your brain and a lot of memory in your brain. So all this power, all right, calculating just the movement of a finger or a hand. Let's say a hand, because you use your hand to grip things. You have to calculate the movement of the little finger, the next finger. You have to calculate the movement of each part of the finger to get the right grip. You have to calculate the force you're doing with, and of course you have some nerve that gives you feedback, but the brain also have to take care of that, taking control of the feedback. Oh, it's a lot of calculation going on in the brain all the time. When I'm talking to you, my brain is thinking in Danish, talking in English. I'm moving around my body, which is, well, it is a very coordinated effort from my brain. And that is why you need your brain to function. Because one of the things that happens to a brain injury, well, that is you lose control of some of your body. Either you get a paresis in one side, which is one side you cannot use or use very less. But in very severe cases, you will have to rely on other people to feed you. Imagine that you are a strong, independent person. Man, woman, or whatever else you identify as, I don't care. But imagine you're that strong, independent person. You don't rely on others. You can do it yourself. Let's say you have climbed a mountain. Let's say you are in a leader position. You have done so many things for yourself already. No matter how little you have done many things for yourself. Now imagine if you had to sit in a chair, have someone feed you at every meal. It's not just one meal. It is great to lay there and have someone feed you with grace. I imagine a little bit of a Roman style where I'm laying there with someone I think is pretty, feeding me grapes. Ooh, that sounds perfect. But sitting in a wheelchair, having someone feed you mashed potatoes, that doesn't sound good. Let's take one of the most common things I saw. It was more common than cyclists getting hit by cars. It was cyclists hitting potholes. Bad infrastructure is worse and creates more damage than getting hit by cars. Because getting in Denmark, a lot of people wear bicycle helmets. We have a great bicycle culture. It is great to be a cyclist in Denmark. We have great long cyclist roads. The area where I live, we have a stretch on 40 kilometers from Slagelse to Næstved, which is the two big cities in the area. 40 kilometers, we have a bicycle road from one to the other. We actually have more than one. We have one that follows the road. We have one that is dedicated. It's an old train tracks. I will, by the way, make an episode on why old disused train tracks can be the best bicycle roads. That will be in another episode, which really, well, challenges infrastructure as we see it. But let's return to the matter at hand. These great bicycle roads, ooh, it's great to be a cyclist. But if there's potholes or if there is big curbs, you have to get up and down, and there's not that smooth drive, you risk getting stuck, you risk flying over your wheel, you risk getting a brain injury if you do not wear a helmet. So to protect you and your family, wear a helmet. My son on 13, he is tired of me for saying, oh, wear a helmet, wear a helmet, wear a helmet, wear a helmet. Even when he's just driving his bike on this is a bicycle lane, it's a protected bicycle lane, it's a great bicycle lane. He should wear a helmet even though he's going over to his friends and his friends is laughing at him. Because, well, as I have said to him, he is not the one ending up in a wheelchair. And today there's a lot of helmets. You don't need to wear a helmet like the one I'm having. You can wear these airbag helmets. They're a bit big. I think they're too big around the neck. That's why I don't wear it. Because it's bulky. I like to wear this real bicycle helmet and I don't trust them. I know they are tested, they work. I just have a trust issue with something I cannot feel. It's like being up in an airplane. I cannot feel the ground. That's why I don't trust an airplane. And when I'm out flying, I need to be a bit doped because, well, I don't like being in an airplane at all. So that's also why I take the train. I'll use this Gym of Life vacation, something I will be making more episodes about later on. Back to the matter at hand. Bicycle helmets, they are needed because without them, we risk getting brain injuries. It's as simple as that. And by the way, if you want to know more about concussions, head over to my other channel, The Danish Made Nurse, where I talk about that. I don't know if the episode's up or it's coming up, but there is an episode on concussion that will be up within reasonable time. And while you're here, remember to like, subscribe, click that bell notification icon. And I hope you've gotten a little smarter today. On this side, I will have something Google things you will like. And on this side, my latest video. So make sure that you check one of those out. Until next time, keep raising your average health. Bye bye.